Wednesday, November the 18th, 2020. I wonder if this year is going to be done. You're watching ACT.tv. Here are the headlines. So, Trump is officially a loser, and not just personality-wise or because of the election. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court rejected his claim that was alleging that, those Republican election observers couldn't adequately monitor the ballot counting in Philly. They were barred from it. The ruling was 5-2. The state high court found that the GOP observers could sufficiently watch ballots being counted. Who were these ballot observers? Do they know how to count? The Philly Board of Elections denied, that there was no meaningful access to the process, that claim was without merit. The only reason why 2 justices voted against the majority is because they believe the case is moot, given Trump's resounding 306 to 232 electoral college thrashing. I believe that court, is moot. I believe that case is moot too. I love moot. No one says moot enough. Loser, as I said. So why doesn't he just get out is the question. 3 major medical associations are warning that if he doesn't leave, and start the process of aiding the transition to the Biden-Harris administration, people are going to die. And they put that number in the thousands. This pandemic is running rampant across the country. In their letter to Trump, the American Medical Association, the American Hospital Association, the American Nurses Association. That's a lot of associations. Anyway, they called on Trump officials in this administration to share all the real-time data about the availability of supplies to combat the crisis that Trump is just taking a nap on. So President-elect Biden and the incoming White House officials will not be forced to catch up on weeks of crucial public health information after Inauguration Day in January. Okay, I'm just going to give a little bit of advice here. They're not going to have anything in stock. Just buy everything. That's what I'm saying. There's thousands, millions cases. Everything's going up. Buy some stuff. Just like everyone's running out to buy the toilet paper now because they think we're going to relive the springtime. Just be safe. You can sign the petition to Congress, by the way, to subpoena the Trump official who is sabotaging the transition. This is sponsored by the Daily Kos. You can go to actionnetwork.org, actionnetwork.org, and find the petition. It's called Sign the Petition to Congress. Subpoena the Trump official who is sabotaging the transition. I don't know if these people have ever used the internet, but that's a very long thing to have people remember. Sam Stein writes on Twitter that you can see here, Biden's COVID task force just hosted a call where he made clear the inability to do the transition work with the Trump team is dire. We do not have access to official government data. No one does. They explained that they're relying in part on public sets like COVID-19's tracking project. Hey, not great. All right, more than 160 orgs are coming together to oppose former Senator Heidi Heitkamp to lead the Department of Agriculture. It's part of progressives' battle to push President-elect Joe Biden to claim his FDR moment. Hello, by choosing a cabinet, that's perhaps well equipped to tackle the next group of crises that the country faces. There's the group, there's a coalition, environmental, social justice, sustainable agriculture groups, including like a long list, 350.org, Center for Biological Diversity, Center for Food Safety. All these folks, including Sunrise, sent this letter to Biden and Kamala, explaining why Heitkamp is totally wrong for the job. Basically, the concern is that she has aligned herself with corporate agribusiness at the expense of family farmers. She supports fossil fuel interests and holds views that are out of step with the Democratic Party and the majority of Americans. So there are some things to be slightly unhappy about, when it comes to Biden's cabinet. We can report on that later, but I'm there are progressive victories and progressive not so victories. At the same time, here's my 2 cents, even if Biden appoints these people, even if they're the same people that were appointed under Obama, or the country is awake now, and hopefully they won't be going back to sleep, not on issues of immigration, not on issues of the food supply, just not on issues surrounding healthcare. They can't sneak one under the rug like they used to be able to. Check it out. Greenpeace USA just released its new Just Recovery agenda. Did you read it? It has 100 sweeping policy recommendations so that Joe Biden and Harris don't have to make anything up. They can just go with this. Anyway, the actions demanded of federal lawmakers include establishing the minimum wage at $15 an hour, strengthening the National Environmental Policy Act, enacting and enforcing new antitrust standards to curb corporate power, passing a bold and just recovery legislation to lay the groundwork for the Green New Deal, even if they can't pull the trigger because of crazy town on the other side. It's also calling on Congress to enable the Breathe Act, which actually is, if you don't know what it is, it's to combat police brutality and racial injustice by investing in Black communities and reimagining community safety. Sounds good. With post-pandemic policies being charted out and new presidential administration just hopefully very few days away, just months, but maybe 60 some days away, Greenpeace says it's crystal clear that now is the time for that pivotal change. Go to greenpeace.org if you want to find out more about that. And our final story today, immigrants' rights activists have had a major victory. 3 Democratic sheriffs who have promised to cut ties with the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, will soon assume office in some of Georgia's and South Carolina's most populous counties after defeating these hardline Republicans who are basically yanking people out of schools, picking up their kids and throwing them in ICE detention. Inhumane. All of them have promised to end the long-standing agreements with the federal government under which sheriffs can question people about their immigration status and detain them on immigration charges. Democrats also fended off a pro-ICE sheriff candidate in Ohio's Hamilton County and Arizona's Maricopa County, where, if you remember, Sheriff Joe Arpaio targeted immigrants so hardcore that he made an example of what, how it's important to get rid of these people. You're watching Act TV. I'm Julianna Forlano. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe, hit that like button, and hit the bell. We'll be back. We're here every day.